Staying in Rwanda, and the stock exchange last week launched the all-share index as a tool to measure the general performance of the market. Now, CNBC Africa's Lois Washira, she reports from Kigali.
The growth of the Rwandan stock market from its inception as a demutualized stock exchange in 2005 has largely been influenced by neighboring countries in an effort to integrate the East African community stock exchanges.
Capital markets is the same in the world. However, when you want to tailor the universal principles into your own market, you look at what can work for you. So when we looked at the region and beyond, we were able to pick, especially we want to learn from the mistakes so that we don't make the same mistakes. So as we speak, we have come up with all the regulations necessary for the market, listing rules, requirements, membership rules, and our legal framework so far complies at a rate of 99% with IOSCO principles, which is something commendable. The rest of the region right now, what they are trying to do is to do an assessment to revamp their legal framework. So we have leapfrogged on that one. Also, since we have worked with the region, we are able to settle at T+2. So we have been able to learn from the CDSC Kenya, for example, on how they do their own business in terms of settlement.
The RSC All-Share Index is made up of 2 domestic companies, Bralirwa Breweries and Bank of Kigali, and 2 cross-listed Kenyan firms, Nation Media Group and Kenya Commercial Bank. This composite index will assist in highlighting general trends in the market and the economy at large.
An index gives us a tool to make noise about what is happening. Even if you have only 2 companies, it's good for people to know what's happening in that market. You realize that whenever you're looking at markets, you'll always use the index as a starting point in terms of knowing the health of those markets.
Now we have very few companies, but in the future when you have so many of the companies, then you can tell the story in each of the sectors. And then you can relate this to the economy, how it is growing. And from there, you can tell whether the economy is moving in the right direction or something is not right.
There are, however, concerns over whether the index will be an accurate indicator, considering the small number, size, and level of liquidity of domestic versus cross-listed companies. But the exchange and industry players feel that the index could not have come at a better time.
For our market, it means a lot. Rwanda, if you compare the index, the all-share index we launched today is 4 companies, and it includes KCB and NMG, Bralirwa, and Bank of Kigali. So they don't trade, of course, much, the cross-listed companies for different reasons, but those ones that trade more, which are the 2 I just mentioned, the domestic companies, which are the IPOs last year, they have traded quite well. The liquidity is there in those 2 counters, on those 2 counters, and they have performed quite well. This year we are talking about 52.6% up to now. We are not even in December yet, end of December, it could even go higher for the Rwanda Share Index. So that one alone has performed at a big rate. If you go to Nairobi, so far the NSE has done 30%, if I'm not mistaken, up to now. Uganda, similar numbers. So you are seeing liquidity in those 2 counters, but there is not much in the others. However, when you look at them together, it's a market in the making, coming. So at our level, we wanted to have Rwanda, small as it is, and our market small as it is, to be a market where it can be seen from a comparative perspective. So we are comparing ourselves with other markets in the region or in the world. If someone sitting in New York wants to know Rwanda, if government of Rwanda wants to issue maybe a sovereign bond in the future, someone will be saying, hey, what is Rwanda? Where is Rwanda? No one knows Bralirwa or Bank of Kigali. It's a tiny company. They are tiny companies from the world perspective. But when you talk about Rwanda as a country, we are talking about an index. Bralirwa and Bank of Kigali, they are 2 companies, but when you form them into a small index as it is, it's representing what is happening in the country together. But one of them, to make a stronger case in one basket.
For us, it's a measure of, obviously, of our health, As the Governor said, it's a measure of the economic health of the country, but also it's a capital market. So in the future, it's a place where we can come to raise long-term investment from Rwanda, for Rwanda, to reinvest in our business, a business which actually we're already significantly investing in at the moment. So while we've listed, which is great, and our shares are doing very well, we haven't yet come to the market to raise capital. But as the market matures, so obviously that possibility is there, and that's something that we will certainly be considering to do.
In order to build on the index's portfolio going forward, the Capital Markets Advisory Council and the RSC are working on getting more local companies to list while encouraging regional companies to cross-list on the bourse. An alternative market counter is also planned before June 2013.
We have a draft already on the GEMS market, the alternative market, where we can publish it anytime. You know, going forward, my prediction will be sometime second quarter of next year. That one could be ready, you know, the rules and the regulations. But it doesn't mean that, you know, if the company wants to list now, they start preparations right now. So we are talking to a few, and we see how it goes. But the official launch, it's not yet, we have not planned for a certain date, but my take is sometime before June next year.